Hello guys, I hope you're all doing amazing by the time you get to watch this video. Once again, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is the right place to be. Please remember to subscribe, like the video, comment down below in the comment section, share the video, and also remember to tap the notification button so that you're notified anytime I get to upload a new video. And to all my returning subscriber, I want to say a big thank you for your amazing support. So guys, as you can already see from the description box below, today we are going to talk about a very important topic on the job market, which is a job interview, how to prepare for an interview. You did apply for this particular job position and you are lucky enough to receive a job interview invitation. Probably it's your first time or it's your repeated time, but it was long since you did it and you probably do not know how to go about it. Do not stress yourself, just grab a seat and let me help you. So let's get straight to the first thing first. When you receive this particular invitation, the first thing you need to ensure is to put all your documents together. And when I say documents, this includes your CV, your cover letter, your academic qualification documents, or any other document that you might have used during that particular job application. I suggest that you have a nice office folder that has a divider, so you are able to place your original documents in one side of the divider and your copy documents on the other side of the divider. This will help you avoid mix-up of the documents and it will give you an easy time. Another information on the documents, please make sure that all the documents that you put in that folder are the very same documents that you used for that particular job application. And this is a mistake that most candidates do. You go for an interview and the interviewer asks you if you have a copy of your CV, and then you hand it over only to realize that the CV that you're giving out at that particular moment is a totally different version of the CV that you had used for the job application. Remember that will start causing a mistrust, and you don't want your interview to start on a bad note. So please be careful and check on that particular detail. Another point on the CV is you need to really go through thoroughly and make sure that you know every nitty-gritty details that is in that particular CV. Basically, you need to own your CV. Why do we say this? In most cases, candidates fail because an interviewer asks a particular questions pertaining to your own CV, and unfortunately you are unable to answer, and an interviewer will start doubting your integrity and doubting if that particular CV really belongs to you. So please make sure you go through it, on your CV, own it up. It is your CV, you are the one who created it, so you need to be able to know what it entails. The second most important thing again to consider is your dress code. Remember, first impression matters a lot. And also note that the dress code may vary depending on the industry, depending on the company or on the organization. Therefore, as a candidate, it is your duty to get a sense of the corporate culture before heading for the interview, to make sure that your attire is appropriate. Remember, a candidate who shows up for an interview dressed in an appropriate professional interview attire will give a much more good impression as compared to a candidate who shows up in a casual wear. Another thing to consider is you may want to fit in to your interview attire prior to your interview. You can do this and get the help of anyone around you to give you a feedback or to give you an opinion of how you look and if you look a part of the interview. This will really give you confidence prior to your interview. Remember to groom yourself properly every time you go for an interview. If you're a lady, please avoid over accessorizing, avoid makeup overdose. Remember, you're going for an interview and you don't want to look like you're going to perform at the circus. Probably if you have long hair, you may want to tie it behind. Avoid letting your hair loosen, avoid loosening your hair out. This will cause distraction when you are in the middle of the interview. It will not be good for you. If you are a lady, you have short hair, well and good. You might want to comb it and just make sure that you look very neat. Another point on the dress code. Please, if you want or if you must really smell nice in the interview, please try and put a very mild perfume or cologne, or if possible even totally avoid using one. Why are we saying this? Sometimes some interview locations might be a small room that may lack good air circulation, and you also remember you are interested for the interviewer to paying attention to your job qualification and not passing out because you came in wearing your Chanel No. 5 perfume and probably the candidate before you was dosed up in a brown perfume, and therefore these two perfumes have come together, they have mixed together to form a poisonous gas that has led to you not getting that particular job offer. Next point, which is the third most important point, is find out more information about the company industry or the industry. I mean, you all know that we are in a digital era and most company probably have social media handles, they have blogs, they have website, they have articles that discuss that particular company's culture and values. This will really give you an impression and personality of the company as well as the value. So we will go to the next most important point, which is point number 4. So point number 4, very important guys, is you need to understand the job position requirement and what the interviewer wants. How do you go about this? This is by going through the job description that was indicated during that job application. Once you do that and come across a job description that you're not familiar with, remember you'll have enough time to do a research on it before the interview. For example, the job position is a procurement officer, and one of the JDs is preparation of supply contracts and agreements. You have never come across it. You have never tackled it on your previous job, probably on the same field. You can always get a few people or friends. You get to ask people who works in the same field to assist you on how to go about it or to give you an idea of what to do. Next point is to prepare in advance for commonly asked questions. Guys, if you have gone for an interview or if you have not gone for an interview before, there are some of these commonly asked questions in every interview. I will name a few, which is tell me about yourself. Why should we hire you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What is your current salary? What is your salary expectation? If we hire you, how soon can you start the job? What are your reasons for leaving your current employer? Or if you are fired, they will probably ask you, why were you fired? Among many others. And guys, don't worry, I'm going to do a separate video in one of the videos to help you to know how to answer these particular questions whenever you go for an interview. Another important point is you need to anticipate the interviewer's concerns and reservation, which is by meeting every requirement and preparing well for your defense. Why? Remember that this particular job position has more candidates than there are openings, so you need to impress the interviewers. The interviewers tend to be looking for they tend to be looking for techniques to slash you out, so please go there prepared very, very well. Another very important thing to consider is to familiarize yourself with the company or the organization prior to the interview. At least get to know where the company is located in advance. If you're coming from a far city or a far place from the interview location, you will need to plan for your logistics in advance. You can always make arrangements with close friends or family who might be living near or close by to the interview location. You can you can request them to host you prior to an interview. This will be good for you because you'll be able to reach at the interview location on time. Therefore, you'll have enough time to relax as you familiarize with the place. At least try and arrive there 15 to 20 minutes to your scheduled interview time. As I said, it will give you enough time to refresh, calm down, relax. Familiarize with the surrounding. Also, if you probably get some other interviewees, you'll be able to, get to chat, get to interact a bit. And remember, this is not the time to still rehearse for your interview. This is the time to just familiarize yourself with the surrounding. Remember, if you don't familiarize yourself with the company or get to know the location of the company in advance, and you doing a guesswork of where the company is located the next day, probably you're using a public means and you have never been to that place. You tell them you want to alight to this certain place and they happen to alight you in a different place. You will get lost, you will be late for the interview, and you arriving at the interview, remember, you will be so sweaty, confused, and already tired before you even start your interview. Also, the interviewer probably will be looking for you. You have not showed up, probably on time, and it will impact on your interview in one way or another. It will attribute to the interviewer to question your organizational skills, and you don't want to get into that road. Lastly but not least, be extremely careful on how you interact with people you meet on the interview. For example, one of the people you will meet at the interview is the security personnel at the gate. The next person you probably meet is the receptionist. You need to know how to address them. Be polite. Talk to them in a very professional manner. Do not bring your "do you know who I am" kind of attitude, because guess what? These kind of things might reach the interviewers and it will not be good for you. You might end up getting disqualified, or you might not end up getting the job position. Why? Because the interviewer were not impressed on how you handle people. They basically will rule out that you are going to handle the people you'll be working with in the same way you handled these two important people. It will limit your chance of being hired, no matter how good you are at the interview. So please, please, please keep that in mind. Lastly, you need to mind the interview etiquette, guys. Really important, very, very important. What are some of these interview etiquettes I'm talking about? These are such as: you need to keep a good eye contact, sit upright and look genuinely interested. And also you need to not to fidget, do not cross your arms, turn off your mobile phone immediately you get at the job location. This is the first important thing you need to do as an etiquette. And also there are so many others, but lastly we'll mention showing your gratitude at the end of your interview, very, very important. So guys, the list is endless, but be sure that I have taken you through most of the important things that you need to keep in mind while you're preparing for the interview. If you follow these ones, I can rest assure you that this will highly attribute to your success in your interview. If you're going for an interview anytime soon, I wish you the very, very best of luck. So that's it for this video, guys. Remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to indicate them down on the comment section below. Thank you very much for your audience once again. Until next time, choose.